Hey everyone, it's Jen, and today I'm here to do a video about one of my all-time favorite scrapbook products, and it's Undo. Some of you who scrap, or a lot of you who scrap, are probably already familiar with Undo, but I know from a crop that I just went to that there are some people that actually don't know about Undo, and I really want to share how wonderful this product is because, like I said, it's one of my all-time favorites. The company Undo actually donated to the crop that we just held for a fundraising event for the crop for tornado relief, and they were very generous and gave us a bunch of these little bottles to put in each of our goodie bags, which was totally awesome. So I got this great big box of Undo in the mail, and I was able to pass them out for everybody at the crop. So it was awesome. I loved it. But again, there was a lot of people at the crop that were already familiar with it, and they've used it and they love the product just like I do, because once you try it, you have to have it all the time. But there were some people there had never tried it, and some people that were very skeptical. And I run into that every once in a while, because when you tell somebody that you have this great product that can take and do miraculous things, people are a little bit skeptical. But I want to prove to you once and for all, so that you can see that Undo actually does work really well, and it does what it does is undoes things, basically. If you have labels or stickers or adhesive or anything that you put on a layout, and say you glued down your photo and it's crooked, or you put it in the wrong place, or you're just like me and you change your mind all the time and you want to take the adhesive off, sometimes you can't get that adhesive off without wrecking the picture or the paper. So with Undo, what it does is it breaks the bond between the adhesive so that you can peel it off easily, and it makes it so that you don't do any damage to the whatever it is that you're trying to get apart, whether it be a photo or a piece of paper or whatever. So I know most of you probably have gone through this before. You glue something with your tape runner in a layout, and then you know, of course, you want to make a mistake and you want to get it apart. And you have to do that, carefully, trying to peel it, and most of the time it's a lost cause, and you'll get that, that dreaded rip sound where you hear the papers just coming apart, and of course then you get, this where it's all ripped and shredded. Well, with Undo, you're never gonna really get that, because what Undo does is it breaks that, like I said, the bond of the adhesive, so that it comes apart clean, and then you don't waste the paper or ruin your pictures or anything. So basically with Undo, it evaporates really quickly and disappears when you use it, so it's not going to damage your paper. So to apply it, I usually always use Q-tips, because they have nice soft cotton head, so that I can get a lot of Undo on there and they don't do any damage. But this paper also has adhesive between it, just like the other one. But what I'm going to do is, again, load up that Q-tip with some Undo, and I'm just going to rub it in between the cardstock, and it's already starting to go to work, and I can feel the adhesive starting to kind of break. Okay, so now you can see very easily there's still adhesive on this side, but the adhesive here is broken and it came off completely clean. Now the paper looks wet, but it's going to evaporate and dry completely. So now to get the remainder off, I'm just going to take again my Undo, and this time I can put it right on the paper where I can see where the adhesive is, so I get it nice and saturated. And because it's not a photo and I'm not worried about scratching it, I can just use my fingernail and quickly I can just scratch off. And I say quickly because, again, the Undo evaporates, so you want to work while it's still wet so that you can get the best results. Otherwise you have to go back like I do here and just put a little bit more on and then scratch it off. And just the time it took me to work the adhesive off on this side, oh, I actually have something on my finger, evaporated on this side and dried. So again, it comes off really clean. Apparently I had some gunk still on my finger, so we'll just take that off with some Undo. And again, it's going to evaporate and you'll save your paper. It'll be great. So now everybody trusts it when you tell them it's going to work on cardstock because it's just paper. But where it gets a little sketchy is when you tell people how great it works in photos, because people are really concerned about damaging their photos. But I want to assure you this works really well in photos and doesn't really do any damage. It doesn't leave a mark or haze or anything like that. So if you're like me and you ever get adhesive on your photo, so that's just a piece of tape runner right there, good and stuck to my photo. Well, if I were to try to do this, especially in a glossy picture, and get it off, it's going to get all scratched up, marked up and everything, and I'd probably ruin the picture. So in order to get this off, all I have to do is take, again, my Undo and just put it on the adhesive. But with the photo versus the cardstock, what you want to be careful with is what you apply the Undo with, because even especially with a glossy picture, you get a lot of fingerprints on it. It's really susceptible to scratches and things. So what you want to do is be careful to use only soft objects to rub on it. You don't want to use your fingernail on this or something hard. So this is a chamois cloth or a Q-tip to rub the adhesive off. But what I'm going to do is just put a little dab on where the adhesive is, and move that so you can actually see it. And I'll let that set in, use my finger just to kind of work it in a little. Okay, but then take the Q-tip and just kind of work that undo in to get the adhesive there. And I want to be careful, I'm going a little gingerly because I don't want to scratch my photo with the Q-tip, even though it is soft, because it's gloss, it's definitely going to want to scratch. So I'm just going to put a little bit more undo and work my chamois cloth. And this will take a little bit longer because I'm trying to go more gentle than if I just scratched it off with, like I did on the cardstock. But I'm going to get the same result. It's going to come off clean. There's going to be no residue, no marks. And the only way, like I said, I'll really get any kind of marks on the photo is if I rub too hard, and then it'll leave like a scratch mark. But just like that, a little bit of effort, and the adhesive comes right off. And again, there's no haze, no scratch, no marks. And if you're concerned about whether or not this is going to really work, if it's like on a vintage photo, or maybe you're just not sure on your photos still, what I recommend is take like a photo from the batch that you want to work on. Say, you know, you cropped off a piece or whatever, and work on that piece and practice, and you can test it. So again, it comes off really clean. It evaporated already on the picture and doesn't leave any marks or any residue or anything like that. And again, my picture is now saved, no more adhesive. So the other thing that besides photos that it works really good on quickly is that it works really well on rub-ons. And if you ever use rub-ons in scrapbooking, you know that they're really great, but sometimes they can be a really hot mess when they don't come out so well. So, you know, you get something like this where they don't come off the sheet the way they're supposed to. So all you have to do is take your undo. And again, this is cardstock, so I'm just going to soak it so it gets a little bit under the rub-ons so that it'll break the bond. And because it's cardstock, again, I can use my fingernail rather than use the cloth or a Q-tip. And I'm just going to scratch it off. Take my cloth, rub the remainder off. And again, nice and clean. And that's going to evaporate and disappear, leaving me a perfectly useful piece of cardstock without any damage. So again, I just wanted to say this is like one of my favorite products. And it has a multitude of uses in scrapbooking, like rub-ons and the adhesive, but it's also good around the house. So I'm glad you came to check out my video, and I hope you learned a little bit about this great product. You can find it at places like your local scrapbook store, so remember shop local. And if not there, try AC Moore, and I've heard even Home Depot has it. So I hope you go out and get this product because you're not going to be able to live without it once you have it. Thanks for visiting my blog, and I hope you enjoyed my video.